Cheers. They brought in the CIA, the tanks and the whole Marines to blow me away, to blow me sky high. My baby's got the oh, hello! Welcome back to the only BBC you're ever going to need. It's the Blackfoot Book Club, and welcome to the first of a continuing mini-series from my third self-published book in May of this year, but first on the Mighty Reds of Liverpool, entitled Chasing the Impossible and a Sword of Damocles. I'm incredibly proud and pleased, as I show my book yet again like a magician's assistant, of how the book looks and how it's turned out. I am really genuinely really proud of it, and it's my best out of the four that you see before you. And now I'm going to endeavour to give a modicum of justice to my own written word as I read into the void of the matrix and the camera that I'm staring at that I can't see because I'm wearing my glasses. But without further ado, page 38, you'll see a banner headline: Reds dismantle Gunners back to second in the league. Liverpool 4, Arsenal 0. For nearly half an hour of tonight's encounter, it was clear that Thomas would not be charging through the midfield, Ian Wright would not be conducting a celebratory goal dance in front of the away end, and nor would God be scoring a 4.5-minute hat-trick at the Anfield Road End. For 30 minutes the game was dour, unexciting, formulaic and rigid, and very much in the making of the current Arsenal team. This Arsenal team are years away from challenging for the game's highest honours, and that may seem like a ridiculous statement to make, but I've made it. And I've made it with first-hand knowledge of the trials and tribulations that Arsenal have suffered for a few years, and will continue to do so for some time to come. I watched a lot of games under Graham Souness as he struggled under the weight of the King's departure, and an ageing squad, together with signings such as Torben Picnic, Julian Dix, Paul Stewart and Isfan Cosma, were never going to propel the Reds to the league title. The famed boot room was dismantled, and Souness changed too much too soon by his own admission, but that wasn't the biggest problem. The problem was following the King. The Kenny Dalglish syndrome at Liverpool for Graham Souness and a Champagne Charlie, read Arsene Wenger syndrome for the current Arsenal manager, and judging on yet another poor result from Manchester United this afternoon, read Alex Ferguson syndrome for the troubles at Old Trafford. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer may be at the wheel, but he has an albatross of a legend on his goal-scoring shoulders. The game itself was broken open in a 4 to 5 minute spell either side of the half-an-hour mark, as an impressive Thiago Alcantara forced a brilliant double save from Arsenal goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale, who then repeated the double save trick from Mo Salah 4 minutes later. As the game transpired, the Gunners were thankful for another handful of saves from their goalkeeper, otherwise the score could have climbed to 6 or 7 for the Reds quite easily. But in between this 240-second spell of actual football came the strange sight of both managers being yellow-carded as they danced around their technical area, handbags at the ready, pontificating as they asked everyone around them to hold them back. But the game ignited from here as Ramsdale made another fine save from Trent Alexander-Arnold before a downward header from Sadio Mane gave Liverpool a deserved lead on 40 minutes. Considering the saves made all night from an impressive Ramsdale, he must surely be critical of himself for the opening goal, as although it was brilliantly headed downward and into the corner by Mane, the keeper still flapped at it as it passed him into his net. As the first half drew to a close, Sadio Mane made one of his regular eccentric tackles. I have long contended that Sadio enjoys starting conversations in empty houses, and he should have been sent off rather than booked for his touchline tackle, as the tackle was clearly outside of the field of play and he was incredibly lucky to escape this breach of sporting conduct. Clearly labelled under the category of "he was lucky this happened at Anfield and not away from home," Sadio and the Reds enjoyed a 1-0 half-time lead. The second half started as we all imagined the first half would do, with Liverpool pressing high, hunting impacts and finally adopting the pressing so beloved of manager Jurgen Klopp. Arsenal started the half dreadfully, Nuno Tavares even worse, and within 7 minutes of the resumption, the game was over after a cool finish from Diogo Jota gave the Reds a 2-0 lead. This was the culmination of intense Liverpool pressure, a mistake from Tavares and a calm, assured goal from Jota, but it was a team goal of pressure, pressing, but when the precious ball had been reclaimed, quick, incisive passing, movement and goal scoring. Whilst Alisson Becker watched from the other end, he was forced into 2 late game saves all evening. His counterpart in the Arsenal goal made another couple of key saves to keep the score at 2-0, but yet more pressure from the Reds saw a buckling and struggling Arsenal finally bend to Mo Salah's obligatory goal on 73 minutes, and Minamino's immediate impact and goal after just 48 seconds after coming on as a substitute finally ended the contest with 13 minutes to go. We are now 12 games into the league season and the Reds sit second, with only the blemish at West Ham United preventing an unbeaten start to the season and are 5 points behind leaders Chelsea. Arsenal are only a further 5 points behind the Reds, but a near decade away from really consistently challenging the current league leaders, or for that matter, the Blues of Manchester or the Reds of Merseyside. They have a spine of an exciting team in Aaron Ramsdale, Thomas Partey, Emil Smith-Rowe and Gabriel Martinelli, but the ghost of Torben Picnic and Isvan Cosma surrounds so many of their current other players. Talking of ghostly apparitions, Mikel Arteta may be a very fine manager indeed, but it's difficult dealing with a virus on the scale that takes hold under Arsene Wenger syndrome. Just ask Graham Souness, Roy Evans or Gerard Houllier. Ghosts of the past can haunt the present, especially if they're legendary ghosts, or kings, or albatrosses, knights of the realm, or even knights of the cop. It takes a leap of faith over a chasm, and time, that precious commodity not afforded football managers to clear the ghosts of the past. Just ask Manchester United's current bus driver. Wunderbar, that brings us to the end of the first in this little mini-series of selected chapters I'm going to read from my third self-published book, Thirst on the Mighty Reds of Liverpool. That was a modicum of justice, wasn't it? Blimey, I hope so. It's Saturday night. I'll give myself a pass. I'll have another quick slurp of tea while I thank you for watching and for being there. I do sincerely appreciate it. There'll be links below for this lovely book, as well as other ways that you could support me. And I sincerely thank you for watching, and I'm going to leave you in peace, as I always do, and in solidarity, as I always do, and in the Radiohead shirt, which I occasionally do. Thanks for watching.